Hello everyone and welcome back to figuring out how professional Fire Emblem armies are. Today we've landed on the army that isn't an army for half of the game, but nevertheless it's our job to see just how much of them are comprised of people that actually know what they're doing. Before we get into this video, last one on Sacred Stones, there was a couple of comments, and by couple I think I mean literally just two, talking about the creature campaign. That's just dead people that you're throwing extra gifts for. Like, I didn't review the trial map characters for Binding Blade, and I don't think anyone made a comment about that. They're not canon, they're just bonuses for going through the tower and ruin some. So, likewise, I won't be counting the trial map characters in Path of Radiance, which are Oliver, Ashnard, and then probably other people I can't remember. Probably some people between Oliver and Ashnard. So, yeah. Real quick to explain the point system. 1 point is you have experience and training. You are a certified fighter. Half a point means you might have been trained to fight, but you've never seen actual combat. You're green, but not exactly inexperienced. 0 points, you're a bum pulled off the street, and you have no idea how the hell you're in the middle of conflict. So, with that out of the way, let's get started. Ike himself, or as the wiki said for some reason, EK, no, I have never forgotten, he is half a point. Excuse me. He has had training from his father, but he never actually got a job to help the company. Literally, the first chapter of the game is him going out on his first job and understanding very quickly that Titania is boss. So, not much to say there. A lot of his character is the fact that he's still a little green. So, don't need to go into that. And now the Grail Mercenaries. I'm putting a lot of characters... I'll save Reese for a second explanation. But it's pretty easy that all the Grail Mercenaries are a point. They're all trained mercenaries. They've been doing mercenary work for quite some time. Hell, Oscar and Titania both got training as knights. That's pretty clear-cut that they know what they're doing. Soren, Shannon, Gatry, Boyd, they're all competent mercenaries who know what they're doing. I think the worst unit up there is Shannon, and even then, he's one of those, he's good if you train him, but, like, he's an archer. Alright, now Reese. I've made a lot of points that just being a healer isn't a point, but Reese is with the mercenaries. He is trained to be their medic on field. So I do not think Reese is like other people with a staff. I put him on the same level as, say, Mulder, who has likely seen field experience before. Sure, Reese isn't the most healthily stable person around. He is a frail boy. Or man, actually, I think he's a man. I don't know these characters' ages. But it's safe to say he's a bit different than other people of the cloth. Maya. Same thing. I believe it's stated she's been a mercenary for quite some time. Maybe not quite some time, but she's been a mercenary for a bit. So I think it's pretty safe to put Maya there. Now, Ilyana? Is that how it's pronounced? I don't fucking know. Heroes probably has the right way to pronounce it. Was she even in Heroes? I don't remember. She's with the Traveling Merchant Group. I know that. She's, Merchant Caravan. Oh, so she's been a bodyguard with the merchants for a while. Okay, I think that's safe enough to be considered a point. I think being a professional bodyguard is enough, because I'm certain that Merchant Caravan has been harassed before. So I feel safe giving her a point, but that can be argued. Mist and Rolf have training, no actual experience. Rolf has been directly trained by Shannon, but shh, don't tell anyone. It's a secret to everybody. And Mist has been trained by Reese, which is something I wish we saw more of, because I don't think they have a support in Path of Radiance, and it would have been neat to see, like, what was teaching Mist like? How good of a teacher was Reese? How good of a student was Mist? That'd have been cool to see, but, eh. I believe they're also the only children... Oh, Tormod. Okay, never mind. They're two of the children in this game. So, yeah, not quite trained soldiers. Speaking of, Marcia is a trained soldier. who flew the coop because of her piece of shit brother, but she is a trained Pegasus Knight of Benyon, even if it is an ex-Knight of Benyon, who then becomes a Knight of Crimea, which I don't quite understand why she didn't go back to Benyon. I think it was like she felt obliged to Alencia or Tanith scared her, both of which are correct opinions. Leith and Mordecai, they are both trained knights to the King of Gallia, so yes, they get a point. Despite how peaceful Mordecai looks, he is a soldier. Like Leith, you don't gotta tell me twice, that woman would slit my throat and feel good about it. But despite being a gentle giant, Mordecai is still a soldier. Volk, trained ass in, but shh, don't tell anyone, that's a plot spoiler. I never understood why he went by Fireman. I guess that's just a cool code name. I thought it was cool as a kid. Even though he uses a distinct lack of fire in combat. He's a trained assassin. Not much I need to say there. I love that Volk is, like, never explained. Like, there's so much backstory to this guy that we just don't know. How did he become an assassin? Like, how did he become world famous? Volk is just a man that they never elaborate on, and I like that. Knights. Kieran, trained Knight of Crimea. He was important enough to know of Alencia's existence, so he's a good chap. Should probably stop juggling axes, but you know what? That's fine. We can live with it. Nephany and Braum, I don't know. I know that if they were just regular soldiers and captured, I think it's only worth a half a point, but if they were properly knighted in Path of Radiance, I do not think it's fair to give them less than a full point. He was a prisoners of war. Does it say how long he was a knight beforehand? Militiaman. How? There's just a lot of mystery to that. How long were he and Nephany militiamen? I'm gonna give him half a point. Because I don't think they've had proper knight training. They've just donned the weapons to protect their people. I could see both Braum and Nephany getting 0 points, honestly. But I'm going to give them half a point. I mean, I guess they had to fight in a battle to be captured. No, that also isn't true. That one's dicey. I don't quite know. I'm not quite certain on that. But I could be convinced to change that. Zahark, I don't think... I think he's a mercenary. Well, we gotta check the wiki again. Sponsored by State Farm. Thanks, State Farm, for farming our states. Zahark. Playable. He's a mercenary from Dayan. Traveling mercenary. Yeah, okay. No, not much to explain there. Traveling mercenary. Probably been in it for quite some time. Canonically a furry. Good for you, Zahark. Soth. This is one of those weird ones. Because he is a kid off the street, but, like, he's thieving. And thieving, he has experience thieving, so I'm going to give him half a point. But I don't think it's quite fair to put him on the same level as, like, professional thieves of the hands of Volk, or early on in this series, Ashdal. So, just half a point. Jill, trained knight. Trained in all the most important ways to be a soldier. Lancemanship, dragon riding, racism. She has high marks in all three very important categories. Astrid. She's a Knight of Benyon. Gotta consult the wiki again. Here we are. The daughter of blah 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 from Benyon. Pressure to marry Lacane. Blah blah blah. Sisters. Engaged her, blah, 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 blah. She would be a knight in military service. Well, I guess she technically was a knight for some time, so I'll give her half a point, even if I don't think she has that much experience. I blindly believe the wiki. Makalov, wandering bumblefuck mercenary for quite a lot of time. Not much to say. I actually will separate them. I will not put them together like my normal joke, because fuck Makalov. Tormod, nerd with a book. He's a revolutionary, a fiery soul, but he doesn't have experience in combat. Morum. I know he's an ex-slave, but I don't know if he was, like, forced to fight in that time. Blah, blah, blah. I know he's a slave. Is it really anything we know beyond that? No, he's just an ex-slave. So does he even really have combat experience? I mean, I know Morum's a gentle giant. That's the thing. He knows how to handle weapons because he was taught to. I remember that support with Zahark. But I don't know. I don't think Morum's ever actually fought people other than just naturally becoming a cat and fighting, maybe. Or tiger. Well, tiger's a cat. That can be debated. I am 100% open to a comment telling me some line about Morum fighting people before that I don't know about. Stefan! I don't know why the fuck this man buries himself in sand and waits for cats to dig him up, but when you're as powerful and legendary as Stefan, I think you get a free pass to do that. Devdin, who is most definitely not Danved. Trained Knight. He is the only person I distinctly remember off the top of my head who has a problem with child soldiers and doesn't want to fight them. As soon as I finished saying that sentence, I remembered Ishtar and Arvis, but they weren't on the good guy team. So, Devdin, I love his recruitment. He, like, you attack him with a child, and he's just like, wait a minute, no, this isn't correct. Why am I doing this? It's nice. That's a unique recruitment requirement. Good on you, Devdin. I'm supposed to make a mecha joke, but I don't know why Devdin is associated with mecha, so he's just there. Yep. Tanith, captain of Benyon Pegsai Knights. Not much to say. She's a Pegsai Knight, and I'm sure men want her to peg them. Not me, though. I am anti-horny. Rayson! Punching Oliver isn't combat experience, but you can sing really nice. Lovely voice. I used to replay the cutscene with him and Leanne restoring the forest all the time as a kid because I loved hearing his voice. And the song you hear in the credits isn't him. I actually don't know who sings that. Is that Leanne's voice actress or someone else? I don't know. The King's Eyes and Ears. They're the right hand and left hand men of the King of the Hawks. They know what they're doing. Janaf is one of the only two characters in this game with a confirmed age of, like, 127. Good on him. Old fart. Khalil. She's a badass with a book, traveling the world as a mercenary. So, she's good. I love Khalil. Wonderful. She comes with Meteor Tome. I don't have anything else to say. Look at fucking Turonio and tell me he doesn't belong at 1. Next person. Ranulf, one of the captains of Gallia's Knights. Not too much I gotta say there. Like, he's a captain of Knights. And a really cool dude. Also heterochromatic, but you can just barely tell his left eye is a different color. At least I'm pretty sure that's... I'm gonna feel really stupid if that was actually Liar that was heterochromatic, but I'm pretty sure it's Ranulf. Har, from heterochromatic to mono-eye-matic. Har. I don't gotta talk about it. He's not quite... He's really good, but he's not quite the god of Radiant Dawn, like in Path of Radiance. He's just a damn good unit instead of a broken unit. But he's been fighting as a knight for at least, like, 10 years, I think. He's been a Dayan Wyvern rider. Alencia's homies. They are all trained knights. I love Bastion so much. I'm going to gush about him for a brief moment. I love characters that annoy other people more than they annoy you. Like, Bastion's overly flowery speech is funny, and it annoys the other people in the world, but it doesn't annoy the reader. I just love him, and I wanted a moment to gush about Bastion. He does not get as much credit as he deserves. Probably because he's a sage that uses a knife, and like, what the fuck, dude. Largo, traveling mercenary, certified badass. I love him. Fucking, why did Radiant Dawn take that man away from us? I'm fucking pissed. Alencia. Half a point. She has training, and she's the first time in the series, I think, there's been a flying staff user. Actually, flying magic user in general, I think. Unless you count the Moguls from Sacred Stones, because they technically flew, but shut the fuck up if you're trying to count that. Yeah. Not much else to say there. Training, no actual combat experience. I do like that she dons up her armor and actually stops being like Guinevere. Like, Guinevere's a level 20 sage. Why the fuck didn't she help Roy? Goddamn trial maps. Nasir and Ina. Soldiers of Goldoa, and briefly Dayan for a time. They're both dragons that know what they're doing. Not much to talk about. Love them. And all the reinforcement units. 2 of them are kings, and 1 of them is the King's Shadow. I've never understood why it wasn't just Tabar, Nesala, and Simba. Like, why is it Gifka? Like, what is Gifka's purpose? I never understood that. Like, what in the story was really stopping King Lion from being here that the other 2 couldn't be here for? Pah. But yeah, there we go. A very professional army, to boot. Though again, some points can even be disputed, like Mora might belong higher. Nephany and Bra might belong lower. Who knows? This is a very professional army. Which, honestly, I'm not surprised anymore. Like, the more and more I've done this series, the more and more I've realized these are trained knights and mercenaries. Anyways, let's count them all up. 10, 20, 30, 36, 38, 41, 44... There are 45 characters in Path of Radiance. So, out of 45 potential characters, 30, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 40 out of 45. Let me see. Divided in fractions, that's going to be 8 out of 9. That's going to be pretty fucking high. Like, 40 divided by 45, which simplified, I could have just done 8 divided by 9. 89%. That's good. A majority of that army is like an actual army. Even though it doesn't become an army until like chapter 17? That's when Ike becomes a lord, and yeah, he's in control of the army at that point. Underrated note about Path of Radiance, I think, about how long it takes to become an army. But when it is an army, it's pretty solid. So thank you all so much for watching. Tomorrow is Radiant Dawn. Well, not tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. In the future, we have Radiant Dawn, which I actually think that one's going to be really fucking good, too. Because everyone here in Radiant Dawn that's on this list right now will have fought in a war when they come back. Except Devdin. Sadly, Devdin does not come back. Weird, he's the only character in Path of Radiance that doesn't come back in Radiant Largo. They are just afraid of our machismo tan-skinned gods, and I will not tolerate that. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. What else is on the checklist? Leave a comment for any and all disagreements. Again, there are points in here like these 2 and this one that I am 100% open to changing and changing my view on. But let me know. I love the comments this series gets. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time for Radiant Dawn. Or more of Vestaria Saga. For those wondering about FE4 infantry only, I'm going to be honest with you, the reason I put it on the back burner is because I've been playing Vestaria Saga for 6 goddamn months, and I just want to finish it. That's it. So, blame me for starting a Let's Play series in the middle of a Let's Play series. Yeah, that's my fault. Good night, everybody. Have a great time.